Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha. I'm a professional intuitive and psychic medium, and I am here to give you a video all about tips on how to best prepare for a psychic reading or best prepare for getting any sort of reading done, whether it's a tarot reading, whether it's a mediumship where you're just looking for some advice on your career or advice on your present situation, an energy reading because you feel stuck. Any of these things, this is the right place to come. Number one thing that I think is so important is before you even look up like who you want to do your reading, I think the best thing to do is to actually sit down and ask yourself what you want out of a reading. I love when I get clients that come to me and are open. They're extremely open to how I do things because every psychic is completely different. We do not receive messages in the same exact ways. We do not communicate them the same ways. We have different systems with who we work with our guides. It's really important to understand that when you pick an advisor or when you pick a psychic to do a reading for you, you're picking one that you actually feel drawn to and connected to their style. So if you're unsure about how somebody does their readings, ask before booking because it's so important. I've had multiple readings where people have, I've done a reading for somebody and at the end they're like, oh, I'm sorry, like I don't like tarot readings. I thought it was a psychic reading. And I'm like, all my readings are psychic. Like all my readings are psychic. I just use tarot cards to help keep me tuned in. And it's like, I wish this person would have asked me beforehand or actually read my bio before booking me. You know what I mean? So it's just so important to actually sit with yourself and ask these questions so that you're not disappointed and also so that you're able to get what you're paying for. You want certain clarity on certain things. So it's important that you sit down with yourself and write down your intentions with a reading and your intentions with the type of psychic you want your reading done by. So when you pick an advisor or you pick a psychic for you, you're more open to the different styles that readers may have, or you're just like kind of like really open and you're just like, I just want to go with who I feel guided to. That's perfectly fine too. Trust your intuition on who you are guided to, and you'll fall upon the right person, especially if you're open. When you are open and you're not like nitpicky, and when you go into it with a very open mindset and an understanding that, you might not get all the answers you wanted, but like you're open to what spirit has to say. Because also when it comes to readings, psychics communicate what they are able to. Spirit is not going to always give all the information you're looking for based on your karma, based on your lessons that you need to learn, based on your soul path. Spirit is not going to give you everything that you want to know through a psychic. Psychics only know what spirit tells us. And that's really important to understand, that we all have a certain path here. We all have a certain lessons that we need to learn, and any information that we could know ahead of time that could distract us from that path or could keep us from learning a certain life lesson that's important to learn through going through this journey that we're currently on, or through going through the current hardships we're going through, or certain confusion, certain things that we just don't know. It's important to understand that not be for you to know right now in this present moment. And that's just how the universe works. That's how God works. As the sun is glistening on me. It's such a hard thing to grasp that we're not meant to know everything. You might not get all the answers you desire, or the exact answers you desire, or you might not connect with who you desire to connect to in a mediumship reading. I have clients that come to me asking to speak to somebody specifically, and 9 times out of 10 that person will come through for them. But if you go into a reading and trying to like test the psychic out, meaning like you try to like see if they know before you tell them, and you go into it expecting something but you're not communicating that to the psychic, like, you can't get mad that the psychic didn't pick it up, because sometimes we don't. Sometimes, like, there are so many messages that come through for people sometimes that we have to sort through, that if it's so important for you to just go into a reading knowing exactly what you want to get out of it. For the most part, if you want to go into a reading just and have like a general reading done, that's cool too, and see whatever comes through, that's awesome. But if you're somebody who wants to know something specifically, whether it's about a relationship, your career, your job, what's going to happen here, like what can I look forward to, whatever, it's really important for you to go into a reading knowing that, and being very direct about that with the psychic. Questions written down, have questions ready to go, and make sure you say, especially if you're on like a psychic site, that the readings are timed. I would definitely say your like most important questions that you want answered first, and make sure you get those messages. Just kind of come through us, and we have to sort through them. So when you give us a direct, I want to know this, it makes it so much easier on us to just give you the messages that you actually want to hear, and that you actually came to a reading for. And meditate and pray. You can do this right before you're about to get on a call with a psychic, or right before you're reading with a psychic. I had clients that came to me that are really like agitated about their situation. Like, it's almost like they just went through the situation, or they just found something out, and then they're hitting a psychic up right away without actually clearing their energy and without actually sitting with themselves. And so anything I'm saying is totally being ricocheted back, and they're not receiving the messages because they're not clear. So I would highly suggest that before even booking a session, you actually sit with yourself again, and calm your energy, clear your energy, meditate, pray, whatever you got to do to be able to receive the messages you need through a reading. Because if you go into a reading with agitation, with anxiety, with your thoughts all over the place, psychic is going to pick that up. And depending on the psychic, they could be reading through that and reading that energy. And it just gets in the way of the psychic communication with you, because a psychic is reading you. Even though you might be asking about somebody else or asking about a passed on loved one, we're connecting with you more so than anybody, because you're the one booking the reading. And this information is for you. So it's really important to go into a reading as clear as possible, as open as possible, and as willing to receive the messages that come through for you as possible.